Lieutenant, sorry to bug you, but I gotta talk to you about something. Look, Lieutenant, maybe it's just because I'm not used to life in the city, but...
Cut to the point, soldier.
I think we're being tailed, sir. I think someone's been watching us, but I don't know why.
Alright. Any ideas how to figure out who it is?
Hell yeah. I ain't no hunter for nothing, sir. I'd say we could leave from, say, the barracks. We're out for a walk. Then, once we know we're being followed, we lead him to a trap down a dead-end road. And pow! You've got him. Or her. Whoever it is.
That's one way to go. Alright. Why not? Let's try it. See what happens. What do you think of the source?
Ah, an amazing place, Lieutenant. Really pretty architecture, mind-blowing buildings, all of it. Makes you proud to be part of Abundance. And you know, I'm all kinds of proud to serve here at the barracks that protect our corporation. Crazy to think the safety of the people's representatives and the Dowsers in our hands. Really cool.
Mr. Manser, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Big on weaponry, I hope? What can I get you?
What else do you know about all these beggars appearing?
Not much more than you can see. They're all missing an arm, which is weird. First, I figured that they were all wounded soldiers from, the front, but mostly that's because the story they were all telling. It's just a stack of lies. Obviously, time changed my opinion. Because our beloved Abundance would never let our veterans and heroes flounder like that. And looking at some of them, the shape they're in, pretty clear they were never soldiers. They're just deformed and disabled and a nasty sight to look at. Why they all chose to litter these streets, I don't have a clue.
Lieutenant, should we maybe get the civilians away from the plaza? That might be safer.
Good point. Yeah, let's ask him to move back.
Citizens, gotta keep moving. Go!
We're going, we're going!
Stay back. Keep moving.
Screw you! You move! I live here!
There may be an attack coming. We're just trying to keep everyone safe.
An attack? Why didn't you just say that? We're out of here!
My boy, I have a favor to ask you. I've lost something.
What'd you lose?
I mentioned one thing. Oh, I am sorry. In fact, it's about a friend. Charles? You remember Charles? No, you can't remember him. Silly me, you never met him. Anyway, Charles is a friend. A scientist co-worker. He was way more successful than I must say. So, he's a friend, and I lost him. It looks like he disappeared, and I am a bit worried. I know that he was doing some sensitive research. Important. Maybe he ran into problems because of that. Anyhow, it's hard to tell.
How do you want me to find him?
He has an assistant. Very nice. She used to make delicious pastries. Unless I'm mixing her up with someone else. Anyway, he had an assistant. I'm pretty sure of it.
I'll go find her. She must know what happened to him, and if she does, it'll turn out the professor is just at a conference somewhere.
Maybe. It's true I don't get invited to conferences as often as I used to. It's rather unfair. I used to love the cocktails they served.
I have a sample of a drug that was administered to the soldiers. We absolutely need an antidote. Can you do that?
Of course. You know, you could have probably made it yourself. If you would listen to the science lessons I was trying to teach you. Oh well, you preferred to throw lightning bolts. I remember that time.
Scott, here's the sample. Can I get an antidote?
You think that I'm senile? You'll see. Give me some time. Take this. It wasn't that complicated. I made you one dose, and I wrote down the formula on it. They'll be on their own for making others.
Thank you, Scott. Hey there, I'm looking for Charles Seeker. You know where I could find him?
And you are?
Zachariah Manser. Professor and I have a mutual friend who's worried about him.
I know the feeling. Haven't seen him for days. I'm Veronica Seeker, the professor's assistant. I got a message informing me he had taken an impromptu vacation, but it's not like him. He didn't even like to sleep, said it just wasted time. Even more than likely in the middle of the research he was doing.
Yeah, seems a bit off, doesn't it? Professor was supposed to start some research with a friend of mine as well. I'm sure he'd already started work on it before leaving. You know anything about it?
Of course. I was involved with the professor's research, though I shouldn't discuss it with anyone without his consent. Otherwise, most people barely bat an eye towards the scientific aspects of technomancer powers.
If you're concerned that the message wasn't really from the professor, did you report his disappearance?
To the authorities? Of course not. The authorities, Mr. Manser, have far more pertinent issues than this, which I'm sure will work itself out in time. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Trust me, I get why you're reluctant to talk. I do. Times like these don't exactly instill openness. But my friend's a very close friend of the professor, and neither of us are the betraying type, you know? To be honest, you look like you got some worries on your mind, too. Could all use a few more people to confide in.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can tell you some things. I'm afraid the professor's vocal railings against the ASC and their ceaseless power grabs might have finally come back to bite him. He would even preach to his colleagues and the listeners at conferences. I would give anything to be wrong, of course, but hope is oftentimes incongruous with the reality we must come to face.
That's one good-looking woman. Too bad she's only got eyes for her professor.
The poor girl seems so sad. Lieutenant, why are we investigating the professor's disappearance? The captain never discussed it. It's not our order.
I've been working on something that'll help us in the long run. Something really important. I don't know how it's connected to this, but it is. You're gonna have to trust me.
Oh, I get it. You just want to solve a case on your own. I got your back, Lieutenant.
there. Feel free to browse.
I'm looking for a little information. Maybe you could help me.
If it's information regarding my merchandise, I'm a fountain of knowledge. If it's in regards to anything else, I'm afraid I have little to offer.
It's become almost impossible to go through the underworks without bumping into one of those monsters. Yeah, the guards aren't working overtime to get rid of them either. Almost got caught by a school of jellyfish the other day. Didn't think the score was worth more than my life. So I hid. I've seen one of those filthy creatures from a distance. Heard they're poisonous. I came face to face with a locust once. Never ran so fast in my entire life. When there's one, there's bound to be many.
Make the slightest move, you're a dead man. Make the slightest move, you're a dead man.
Hey there.
Officer, hello! What can I do for the fine officer today? Check out my merchandise. I have everything you'd ever need for hunting.
Hey there. Just came by to let you know Fiorello's back in the exchange, and he's got your merchandise.
Now, that is some very good news. Thank you. I'll send my assistant right away.
Make the slightest move, you're a dead man.
Oh, this place isn't like it used to be. The curiosity zone gets more violent by the day. Finding all these weirdos. Officer, please, please help.
What's wrong?
My fiancé just disappeared. He's not like him. I know something's happened to him.
Talk to me.
Yeah, his name's Derek Labor. He's just a worker like me, but he's also this amazing fighter. He was trying to get us out of this life by winning in the arena, and he was. But then, you know, these people, bad people, became really interested in him, and after his last fight, a lot of serum flies around in fights like this. And he usually wins, which makes people lose serum, and then, I don't know. Please find him.
I'll see what I can do. I'm looking for a promising young arena fighter who recently disappeared. Name's Derek Labor.
Derek? Yeah, now that you say it, it's been a while since I seen him. Only a matter of time, though. What with all them Vori hanging around him. Bet you the bookmaker knows something. Guy like Derek wins a lot of fights. He's a guy the bookmaker's gonna keep an eye on. If I was you, I'd ask a few questions.
Thanks. I'll go see him. Hey there.
Hey there back. What can I do you for?
I found this girl in a pretty bad state. Doesn't even remember her own name. Figured since you know everyone in the area, might see what you knew about her first.
Let's see here. Sure, yeah, I know the broad, or at least her face. Though I gotta say, she's a fuck sight prettier in person. She's one of those Black Dahlia girls. Gang of bitches always hanging around the area, starting shit with the Vori. Probably got her fucked up in the end. Play with fire enough, gonna get your ass burned eventually, you know? You got a map? You can usually find them hanging around here. Got a leader, too. But who she is or where she is, I ain't got the damnedest.
Fair enough. Thanks for the help.
Bird told me the opposition is spreading.
By opposition, do you mean terrorists? Seem quite sympathetic to their cause.
What? No! I'm just telling you what I've heard.
People have been denounced for far less. Keep your tongue in check.